What is up, everybody? It's Sam, and we are back with another episode of Pessimistic at Best, the podcast. And I'm very excited because I have a very special guest with me today, my very own dad. Hey, Dad.
Hi, Sam.
How are ya?
I'm fine. You know.
Well, I'm excited. I don't know why, but season 3 is the season of bringing my parents on the podcast. First, Mom, and now it's your turn. I suckered you into it. But I'm excited. Obviously, long time coming. I've been telling you guys I'll have you on my podcast for forever. So I'm excited, and it's a nice day. We didn't get to do some of the things we were going to do. We were going to maybe go for a run first. But, you know, that's all right. I haven't been running much.
No, me either. Too many things going on. Bad knees. You know how it is.
Yeah. What's up with your knee anyways?
Well, I don't know. So last spring, you remember?
Yeah.
We were on that run and I hurt it and I was resting and trying to rest and not do much. And it seemed like it was better. So I started trying to exercise a week and a half ago. And all of a sudden it swelled up like a balloon.
Just today?
No. Last week.
Oh.
And so then I rested it some more, but I'm in the middle of this remodel and I have to use my knees. And anytime I put extra weight on them, this one seems to just like react.
Yeah.
So.
How old are you nowadays?
I'm too old. I'll be 62 this year, Samantha.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
No.
Well, that's fair.
I mean, it's okay. I don't really think I don't worry so much about age. The only thing that really gets to me is my body doesn't want to keep up with me anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm not ready for that.
No, totally. I feel like that. Yeah, I can only imagine that would be frustrating. Well, don't worry. I don't have an excuse. I just haven't been moving. I actually can tell that I just sit all day. All I do is sit, and I can tell that it's starting to get to me because my legs feel skinny. I don't have any muscles. Like, I'm just feeling I really need to start exercising again.
Well, and I think that's part of it, you know, because I went from being a pretty much everyday runner to not running at all and not doing anything. And I've put on probably 10 pounds. And I'm feeling the same way. I'm
like kind of losing weight, but not in a good way. I'm just like losing all my muscle. I don't know. I feel like I have noodles for arms and legs right now. So we'll have to get back to some sort of routine, but it's all about finding the time.
Yeah, totally.
But it is getting really nice out. It's 50 degrees here in Madison today, which is nice. It's a little bit windy.
Super nice.
But yeah, I'm thankful for that. So I don't know. One of these days we'll go for a run. You think you're going to be able to do the 5K?
I'm hoping so. I mean, it's kind of weird because if I walk, once I get going, it starts to feel a little better.
Sure.
So I'm hoping that if it doesn't just start to swell up right away, and maybe there's a compression thing I can put on it. I don't know. I haven't even looked into that.
That's true. Have you talked to anybody about it?
No, and I should.
Dad hates the professionals.
You know, I'm a big believer in the body will heal itself.
Yeah.
But in some cases, it just doesn't seem to want to work anymore. So I really should have it looked at because it's not going over.
Yeah. Well, I will say I don't like going to the doctor either, so I fully understand. But you know, I don't know. Sometimes they can assist the body in healing itself.
Yes. Right. So like if there's something in there, like it feels sometimes like there's some loose stuff in there. And if I turn funny, you know, all of a sudden I can feel like this weird sort of grinding kind of weirdness in there. And so it probably should have somebody kind of look at it. Go in there and take a peek and tell me there's no cartilage left and that I have to stop running and then I'll go forget it.
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, yeah, for those of you that don't know, / most of you probably do, my dad's my running buddy. He got me into running. I mean, when did you start running? Like 10 years, 20 years ago now?
So when we moved to Madison, I was starting to feel like I was just really out of shape. So, you know, because years ago, I started a job with a friend of mine doing construction work, and we were like in a partnership, and I lost a bunch of weight, and I got in really good shape.
Physical labor, baby.
Yep. It really does do something.
Yeah.
And then we stopped that. We just couldn't quite make it work. So then I went back to computers, and I sat for 3 years. And then we moved to Madison, and I was sitting, and I, got kind of inspired because one of our neighbors that we met was a very avid runner. I thought, I can do that. Well, sure, I couldn't. So anyway, but I was determined, and it took a while. So it wasn't until like 2006, maybe, I started running, and I've pretty much been running ever since.
Yeah.
So this is hard for me to not.
No, totally. Me too. And I can feel, sometimes it's hard for me to get myself to go for a run, especially after you take such a long break.
Yeah.
But at this point, I can feel that my body needs to start doing something. Sitting is bad for you.
Sitting is very bad for you.
Yeah.
Especially long-term sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's not good. You should get up and move once in a while. Mm-hmm. Easy to say, hard to remember.
I know.
Unless you set a clock.
Well, my little Apple Watch is supposed to tell me to do that, but I never listen.
Yeah, I ignore a lot. I do too.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I definitely need to get back to it. And I feel like, especially recently, I have been pretty much getting up, sitting down at my desk from the second that I wake up until I go to sleep, which is bad.
Well, and the pandemic hasn't helped that because now we're all working from home. And so we get out of our bed and we crawl over to the fridge and we grab something to eat. And then we crawl over to our chair in our office and sit down and go right to work.
Literally. It's so bad. It is so bad, but only a couple more weeks of that for you.
Yeah.
Which is exciting and probably scary.
Very. It actually hit me yesterday because what was I doing? I had to log into work because of an issue on a Saturday because something happened. And so I'm like, okay. And I was looking at the schedule. I was like, okay, I got to look at the calendar and see what's coming up and what has to happen. And I looked at the calendar and went, oh my word, there's only 2 weeks left.
That is crazy.
Really, only 2 weeks left. And it's going to go fast and it's going to be, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
I'll admit it.
For sure. How long have you been working there?
17 and a half years I've been working there. So I was thinking about this just the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I have been working nonstop, basically, except for like a 2-week vacation since I was 19.
That's
nothing longer.
Oh my God.
That's like 40 some years.
You haven't taken longer than a 2 weeks off?
Nope.
Ew.
Even when you were born, Samantha, I only could take 2 weeks.
Dad, what the hell?
That's all they allowed.
That's why I turned out like this.
It's not my fault.
Wow, that's actually crazy and also kind of gross.
Yeah, so I want to take a break.
Yeah,
and I hope it works out.
Well, to say you've earned it would be an understatement. But yeah, it's actually funny. When I recorded with Mom, I brought it up yet, but you hadn't fully decided, you hadn't put your notice in or anything. So Mom was like, "We can't say that."
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we took it out. That's fine. That's
in case anyone's listening.
For. I was like, I highly doubt that Dad's coworkers are listening to my podcast, but that's fair.
You'd be surprised though.
But I'm excited for you. I think, it's probably going to take you a little while to even just figure out how the hell to relax.
Yeah, I think it will because I'm so used to my early mornings start right off with a bang with work-related notices coming. And I'm talking early, 5 o'clock in the morning.
I hate that.
And, it's going to feel weird when I don't care about that anymore.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be nice, though. I think you definitely were over it. You need a break.
Yeah. And they didn't necessarily want me to leave, so I don't even know if Nilesh has announced it yet.
Really? Still?
Yeah. My boss. And
it's been
I don't know
2
if
weeks.
I should talk about it or not, but it's been 3 weeks. I gave it 5 weeks.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. Well, Mom says we're going to dinner on your last day.
Oh, really?
Yep. Throwing a little party.
Well, we have a run the very next day.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, well, we won't go too crazy. Who knows? At this point, it might be a run walk.
Might be
us.
a walk.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
But that's okay. We'll figure it out. Well, I'm excited for you. I mean, I literally don't think I've done anything for 17 years besides be alive. So
yeah, it's weird to think about how long it's been.
Yeah.
You know, because really it doesn't seem like it's been that long. I don't feel like I'm 62 years old.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
or
even
soon to be.
feel like I'm 25. I feel like I'm like 6. Should not have near the amount of responsibility that I have, but that's okay. So I know you haven't fully decided like what you want to do yet. You know, it's not like a for sure retirement, but is retiring the scary part or just quitting in general or both?
The word retirement doesn't scare me. It's the fact that I'm more concerned about the financial side of it than I am about the not working side of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably can pretty quickly, if I don't wait too long, pick up something else if I need to. Even in my field, you know, even in my IT field.
No, totally.
I mean, it's changing and it changes rapidly, but my skill set is at a point where it's in demand.
Yeah.
Still, even though it's a changing world, but it adapts. So.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that it will work and I can stay, or at least find something that I can earn a little bit of money.
Yeah.
To make ends meet.
No, for
if
sure.
necessary. If I have to go back full time, well, then I will. But
sounds lame.
Yeah.
I'm ready to retire as well.
You are you?
Yeah.
But you're just starting out.
I haven't looked at the finances yet, but I am tired, so I've decided it's not for me. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just interesting. I feel like for me, working will just be different. I don't know if it's, I feel like the way the world works isn't quite the same, and people don't stay at a company for 17 years anymore.
No, they don't. In fact, companies, I don't think even want that anymore.
Well, because then you get expensive.
You not only get expensive, but then they have to, if you want to stay on top of your field, you need to continue your education.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to call it education here somehow.
Yeah.
And companies often have to pay for that as well. So somehow they seem to feel it's easier to hire somebody who already has those skills.
Which is messed up.
Which, yeah, it doesn't bode well for employee longevity.
Yeah.
Then.
I mean, I feel like there are pluses and minuses to that. Like, it's kind of cool to be able to bounce around, but at the same time, I don't know. Yeah, like you should be investing in the people you already have also.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that's hugely important. But companies are changing, and obviously they have to, make money in whatever way they can. And
yeah.
Unfortunately, the people seem to be the most expensive part and also the most expendable.
Yeah. Funny how that works, huh? Well, I think I don't know, it's going to be definitely a change, but hey, one less thing to complain about, huh?
Oh, I'll find something to complain about. You know me. I'm good at it.
See, everybody, this is where I get it from. That's why it's about darn time that you got on the podcast. I was talking to Mom because when she came on, I asked her if she thought she was a pessimistic person.
Okay.
And she was like, I mean, sometimes, like, you guys, in my opinion, are both pretty good at complaining. So I think that's where I get it. That's where I got this beautiful skill set. But you definitely complain in very different ways. And then sometimes about each other. But I guess
never about each other.
I guess that's just what marriage is. So that's totally fine. But do you think you're a pessimistic person?
I think I'm mostly a person that believes the glass is half full.
Yeah.
As opposed to the glass is half empty.
Sure.
But I do have my pessimistic side.
Yeah.
And it comes out when I get grumpy.
Me too. I feel like I use it in a couple different ways. Like, definitely when I'm grumpy, I'm negative. And also, I actually find oftentimes that that's also how I cope. Like, it's like a little bit comedic for me too.
Sure. To
complain about something, and then I kind of am making light of the situation as well. So, I mean, I think personally it's a very healthy coping mechanism, but some people might disagree.
I think we all have those.
Yeah.
I in the heat of the moment,
yeah,
complain a lot. And if Mom gets me to shut up
Yeah.
and think about it for a little bit. Usually then I calm down.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm the same way. And I don't know. I feel like it's just natural to also complain about, I mean, work takes up
Well, it's
like
such a
80%
huge
of your
part
day.
of your day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
If
especially
not
mine.
more.
And
Yeah.
yours too, it sounds like. So.
Yeah, these days. Hoping to decrease that. But
So I keep trying to tell you that you need to do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, too late. I know. It's just hard. It's really hard to find that balance. And I do feel like I really like working from home, but I do feel like there are downsides because you can just be on all day long. There's no leaving the office, shutting the computer. So
you have to be really disciplined in order to make that work.
Yeah.
And I think companies were afraid, so that's why they didn't want people to work at home.
Yeah.
That they just weren't going to do anything. And it's turning out the other way around.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
They're doing more. They're getting more productivity out of people than. However, companies still want people to go back to work.
Yeah.
We're finding. So I don't know what that means, but
I know. I think that's really interesting. Like, I think there's going to be a balance because, I mean, I know my work, we had to shut down again, but we're planning on doing hybrid come March again.
Okay.
So a couple days a week, which for me, honestly, right now is a little pointless because none of my team members are really in Madison anymore, at least not yet. The new people we hired haven't moved. So I'm just going to be there by myself on Zoom all day anyway, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, and the organization I work for is doing the same thing. They're making people start to go back to the office. And initially, it's changed a little bit now, but initially they said if you live within 10 or 15 miles or something like that of the office, you need to go in.
It wasn't even a choice?
No.
And 5 days a week?
No, they're not talking full time. They're talking probably 3 days a week.
Okay.
But I'm here in Madison. The company's headquartered in, St. Louis, Missouri. So for me to go in the office, I would sit down and be on video.
All day.
So why can't I just do that here? It makes no sense for me to go back.
No, I'm kind of in the same boat. And I don't know. Sometimes I like going in and being able to see people, but I prefer it to be a choice. And it just so happens that a lot of the days that I'm usually scheduled to go in, I happen to be in meetings with the client all day anyway, which is also kind of silly because then I have to go find a quiet place.
Yeah, because you're not in person for those meetings, right? Because they're everywhere around the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and those are, I mean, whatever, if there's background noise for an internal meeting, but certainly if it's client facing, you want it to be more profesh.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I'm sure it's going to take us a while to find the balance that actually works. I feel like that's what all companies are struggling with, but
yeah, no, I think they are too. And it's going to be different. I mean, if there's anything that did come out of this pandemic, I think it's how employees are going to look at work and continue to move forward with it. Because I mean, I'm sort of feeling like now I'm part of that. What are they calling it?
The Great Resignation.
The Great Resignation. Yes.
I was just going to say that. Look at you. I mean, I kind of was too. I mean, I quit my last job and started this one in the middle of the pandemic as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, actually kind of crazy. I will literally have my year anniversary on March 1st.
Oh, wow. That's right. Congratulations.
Which is, I mean, in some ways I feel like I haven't even been there a year, and in some ways I feel like I've been there for 10. So,
well, but that's good because that means you're being challenged, and it's I think, if it becomes a chore, then you have to rethink things.
I mean, work, honestly, even if you like your job, I feel like sometimes it's a chore. That's just the reality of the situation.
It's just the way it is. Yeah. I don't think, no matter what you do. I mean, people have always said that, if you really enjoy your work, you're not really working because you're just having fun doing it and enjoying it. But I do think that there's moments.
I just feel like for me, because I like the stuff that I do, but I also really, really value my free time. Mm-hmm. So having that chewed into at all puts me in a really sour mood.
Well, that's good because that means you're, in my opinion, working to live.
Yeah.
As opposed to living to work.
Yeah. I always thought I grew up thinking I wanted to be a career woman. And now I'm like, fuck that. Who is that for? That's not benefiting me. That's just benefiting the company.
But what is that? What is a career woman? What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just grew up in the area of like girl boss, like, you know, you would see like Carrie Bradshaw doing her thing or, you know, just like, and it was always white women in journalism. And I was like, oh, maybe that could be me. And now I'm like, weird thing to glorify because working actually kind of sucks. But that's okay. But yeah, what are you going to do your first week? Have you thought about any of the cool plans you're going to do?
I will probably sleep in a lot.
That sounds nice.
I haven't really thought about it a lot.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel a lot of pressure because the work at my organization that I do, nobody else knows.
Yeah, and that's a hard place to
literally, nobody else knows. And I'm trying to get them to take it seriously enough to cover. I'm worried that it's just going to blow up when I leave. And frankly, when I leave, I'm out.
Yeah. It's not your responsibility.
Because that's the way I've always been about life, I think.
Yeah.
I'm either in or I'm not.
Yeah.
So I'm in 100% or I'm out. And if I'm out, I'm out. Don't call me.
Right. No, for sure. I respect that. Yeah. I mean, it's hard. I don't know. That's hard. That is a tricky place to be in because you feel a little bit of responsibility, but like you don't actually owe them, I mean, frankly, anything. So,
yeah. But I do feel that because it'll be a letdown maybe a little bit for those folks who rely on that data that I'm responsible for. And that is a regret that I have, but I have to do what's right for me and my family, and this is the right thing. You know, I know that. I feel that. It's not something that I've thought about it for a long time.
Yeah.
The question is not if, but when, and this is really the right time. So
you also gave them a very fair notice.
Yeah, I tried to. Yeah, because our company, they ask for 4 weeks notice when you quit or leave to get a new job, and they wanted 6 weeks if you were going to retire.
Yeah, I still don't understand the difference.
I don't either.
But
so
whatever.
They got 5 weeks notice for me.
Right in between.
Yep. Right in between.
So do you think that you and Mom are going to do like more art shows, try to do some in the winter and go down south or anything like that?
Well, I think maybe, we should do that while we're still able.
Yeah.
If we're going to. I know Mom has applied to a couple that are a little further away than what we're used to doing. One of them, she got on the wait list, and I don't remember what happened with the other one. And one's in the Carolinas.
Yeah, okay. I think I heard about that one.
Yeah, and I don't remember where the other one is or was. She might not have gotten into one.
Okay.
It's tough. It's a tough thing to do. So, sometimes you get in, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. I wonder if there are also like more people applying probably compared to last year since the pandemic is starting to lighten up and everything.
Well, I would imagine that's probably true. People are tired of, if you're an artist, I can't imagine, and that's the way you make your living, you basically weren't earning any money for 2 years.
Yeah.
Because it all got shut down. So, yeah, they're all going to be anxious to get back in and get going, I would think.
It'll be interesting to see how this summer is, just in general.
I think people are anxious. Yeah. I did hear something on the news the other day that airline ticket sales for destinations are skyrocketing right now. Not prices, but people are starting to plan and do. So they're either giving up on trying to beat the pandemic, or they're reaching the point where it's going to be there. I'm just going to get back to my life.
Yeah. I'm starting to feel that way. I want my life back. I'm tired of wearing a mask. I get it. I've been doing it. I'm still doing it, but I am sick of it. I want to just be able to go to a restaurant or plan a trip. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Just to have something to look forward to.
I'm not the most social person in the world.
Sure.
But even I'm tired.
Yeah.
I've basically been trying to stay home as much as I can for 2 years, and I'm definitely get sick of it.
Yeah.
So
start to go a little crazy.
I do want to get out.
Yeah. Same.
Well, which is even worse when I can't run, because that was my
way out.
Little
escape. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally. I know, and it's hard too once you kind of lose it to get back into it.
It is, definitely. It's definitely something once you're in, you should at least try to maintain something.
Yeah. Do you think you would have to replace running ever with something else?
Maybe. I don't know what, though.
Yeah.
I don't mind biking, but to me, I don't get quite the full effect that I got from running, from biking. So I can do biking, and I don't mind doing that.
It's a little easier on the knees.
Definitely. Swimming might be interesting, but swimming, you have to go to some place that has a pool.
Right.
And that's expensive. Then you're talking lots of monthly fees, which I don't think I want to do.
I also feel like getting in the pool in the winter would just be hard.
Yeah, unless you're really used to it, I can't imagine. And I've never been a major swimming person anyway. So, I mean, I loved it as a kid. Don't get me wrong. When we would go to the lakes and the beaches, I'd never get out of the water.
Yeah, I think I got that from you. I was kind of like that as a kid too. I love swimming. I always went to the hotel pool, all those good things.
Yeah, so we grew up, we didn't really swim in pools as much. We would go to lakes.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom and dad both grew up on farms, so their idea of a break from farming was to, hit a river or a lake somewhere and cool down. Take a dip. Because there weren't pools back then.
Yeah. I always get an itch to go swimming around this time of year, too.
Oh, really? Interesting.
It just, sounds nice to be in warm weather.
Well, there's that.
And swimming.
I saw a cartoon today, and it was a kid and his cat, and they were going to go to their pool because it was warm out.
The cat?
Yeah. And then the cat went onto the pool and started sliding around and said, "Not quite ready yet."
Oh, because it's all ice.
Yep.
Oh, my God. What is that, like Calvin and Hobbes?
I can't remember what the name of it was. Anyway.
Dad's in his retirement era watching cartoons. That's exciting.
Maybe that'll be my new pastime. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, that's good. Oh, that is good.
I used to like cartoons as a kid. Why can't I still?
So true. We are still kids. Kids at heart. No, but that's good. I mean, I know too. I mean, I'm sure you'll stay busy. I guess you're getting close to done with the remodel, but you still have a little ways to go.
Yeah. There's definitely things I need to do yet to finish things out. And I don't know. I'm good at finding things to do.
You're handy, so that's always nice.
Yeah. And I don't know. Maybe I could pick up some stuff here and there doing that, or who knows.
I think you got to start offering to do everyone's frames for their art in the art guild. You got a good group you can pull from.
Yeah, but building frames isn't the most fun.
Sure. That's fair. That makes sense. But hey, you are good at it. So, well, do you think that we're still going to try to hit a number 5 on the marathon list?
I don't know.
Might be kind of hard.
Well, it really, really depends on how my knee holds out. I would have gone for it already.
Yeah.
Except for my knee. So I did have a lot of goals for hitting 5 marathons for my life, but I hate to say it. I might have to give that one up. I don't know.
No, I mean, I get it. It's just sometimes it's just not worth pushing yourself that hard.
Yeah. I mean, I really thought I'd be able to do it. I really didn't see having knee issues was going to be something that hit me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I know my dad ended up having knee replacement surgery.
Oh, really?
At least one. And he should have the second one done, but he doesn't want to. My sister Kathy, when she was around, had both of her knees replaced.
Really?
At the same time.
Oh, that seems like a bad idea.
I know, but that's how they did it. She was younger when they did hers, though, so they thought that she could handle it.
Great. So we got bad knees in the family.
Yeah, so hopefully you're not getting those knees.
Well, that's another thing. I was literally bending down to do just to feed the cats this morning, and I was like, my knees hurt. I can tell I'm not in shape. I need to start.
Yeah, so that's just probably from you're not moving and using them enough.
Yeah.
You'd get back into that pretty quick.
I mean, I'm not too concerned, but it was a little bit of a red flag. Oh my God, I'm 25, my knees hurt. We gotta start doing something.
Get out there and ski in the winter, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been that into downhill skiing. I feel like I could maybe like cross country skiing. I've never really done it.
I've never tried it either. I always thought I might, but I just never got out there.
I think the Arbajes are going to start doing that at the farm.
Oh, yeah, I bet. That'd be a nice place to go do it.
So that could be kind of fun.
It's got a couple of hills. Yeah.
Yeah, I just have never been like that much into like the winter sports.
No, me either. I get cold.
Yeah. And I just feel like they're so much more work than they are reward.
I mean, when I was a kid and we'd go visit my aunt and uncle's dairy farm in the winter, it was always fun to whip out the sleds. They had a pretty long driveway that went downhill most of the way. So you could get going pretty fast. And then you'd hit the road.
Right. Really safe.
And of course, that usually by that point was pretty slick. So then you'd fly over that. You hit another little downhill after that.
Oh my gosh.
And if the gate was open, you were good. If the gate wasn't open, then you had to stop because otherwise you'd smash into the gate.
Well, hey, that sounds kind of fun.
But yeah, it was always fun.
I did like sledding. I guess I did some sledding because we always lived so close to Elver. Perfect hill for it.
Yeah, great hill for it.
Although I remember one time Sophie and I went sledding at Falk, just one of those tiny little hills in the back, and we bonked heads really hard.
Ouch.
Yeah. We caught air and bonked heads.
What kind of sleds were you
It was like a giant blow up one, and we were both on the same one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that hurt. Might have been the last time I went sledding. Who knows?
Yeah, and I don't remember you ice skating much either, right? So
yeah. I honestly don't know if I've ice skated at all since moving to Madison. Maybe like once or twice. I'm not very coordinated, so...
Well, we had to stop because,
Mom broke all of her bones.
Yeah. That was the last time we ice skated.
Yeah. You too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. There are some good spots for it. Like, if I were to go now, I think Tenny Park would be kind of fun. But also people go like over there and play hockey. I don't want to be around that.
Yeah, and then they have they put an ice rink over here in Elver now.
They do.
Every winter.
Oh yeah, maybe I can I can picture it.
Haven't tried it out.
Yeah, because you can rent from there, can't you?
I believe you can even rent skates.
Yeah.
There, yeah. Don't know for sure.
I saw some people ice fishing today, which I thought seemed maybe like a terrible idea.
Really?
It's 50 degrees.
Oh, but last week was pretty cold, so...
Even yesterday was freezing.
I think
it was
that
like
ice is probably still pretty thick.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a really strange hobby to me that I do not understand. The whole point and the whole fun of fishing, one is being out on the warmth in a boat and also being able to like see what you're trying to catch.
Yeah, so I have a friend. We've pretty much lost touch now, but he was my neighbor next door when we were kids. Was an avid sportsman of the hunting and fishing variety.
Sure.
So he would do ice fishing, hunting, bird hunting, duck hunting, all that kind of stuff. And so I tried it. Ice fishing, not for me.
No.
I mean, you drill this big hole and then you stand there and watch it.
For hours.
And
you just freeze.
Until their little tip-ups all of a sudden go like this, and then that tells you something bit on your hook, so then you try to reel it in.
There's not even a thrill to that, in my opinion.
No, but if you're an avid fisherman, they will tell you that the best fish that you can get are those in the middle of winter when it's ice fishing time. That cold water, I don't know, somehow enhances the flavor. I don't know.
Ew. Yeah, I don't know about all that. It looks so boring to me. So, but that's fine. To each their own, I guess.
Well, and I just get cold, and once I get cold, forget it. I'm done. And
that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't take long. So
no.
Even if you're in one of those tents, and with a heater,
right?
It's pretty cold in there.
No, definitely. And you want to know what does take long? Getting warm.
Yes, getting warm takes forever. I agree.
It's the worst. So I'm ready for spring, that's for sure. If we don't go for a run soon, we should at least go for a walk.
Yes, no, I 100% agree. And Mom and I have to start doing more walks because now that our Gracie's gone,
yeah,
there's no excuses to go, so we're not going. And she really went every day with Gracie.
Multiple times as well. Yeah, Gracie loved walks.
Yep.
So yeah, no, that is hard. And that's just I think the hardest part too is it's just become such a part of your routine then.
Yeah. So it's been hard for her.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That sucked. I was not prepared for how much it sucks to put down. I mean, I obviously have been through a couple of childhood pets, but Gracie, I for sure grew up with the most,
Yeah.
So Really sad.
Not easy.
It was actually, I like posted a couple things about it, and I think it was Sophia texted me and she was like, Sam, I need to know right now, is Gracie still with us? I was like, no. And then she literally immediately sent me a photo of her just sobbing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's sweet, actually.
It really was. I mean, all my friends text me, but yeah, Sophia was like the first. Oh, yeah. And I mean, Sunny, not to say Sunny's going anywhere anytime soon, but like we got them around the same time too. So.
No, we did. And actually, Sunny's not doing that well either.
Yeah.
From what I hear.
It's about that time, I suppose. Not to jinx it. Knock on wood.
No.
Long live Sunny.
Yeah. And we thought Gracie was going to be around for a couple years yet. So
yeah.
it was sort of a shock.
Yeah.
Wasn't expected at all.
No. Well, I totally scared James. I think he thought you died.
Oh.
Because literally.
Oh, dear.
Because literally Mom called me. I was in the middle of a work meeting. So I quick got off my Zoom. I was immediately sobbing. And then I'm like panicking. I was hurting trying to get normal person clothes on because I was still in my pajamas. So I'm like saying to Mom, and I was like, is there enough time to get there? And all of a sudden, James is just like looking at me, panic, rushing, putting on his boots. He had no clue what was going on because I'm the one that's on the phone.
Yeah. And he's not really
like
hearing what's
grabbing the keys, putting his mask on. He was like, we gotta get out of here.
The poor guy.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, I mean, I was just thinking that the worst. So I'm glad you're still with us, Dad.
I'm glad I'm still here, too. I'm not ready to go yet.
Oh, no. Definitely not.
I might complain, and I might be doing all those old guy things that, you do when you get old. You just talk about all your
gripes and your
your pains and your joints and your...
Yeah.
But I'm really not ready to go yet.
I don't want you to. Couldn't handle it. Well, I have to ask, do you think of me as a pessimistic person?
Do I? I think you're mostly an opportunist.
Sure.
And I think, well, like anyone, you get down, and when you're down, you're down.
Yep.
So
just got to bitch about it.
Yeah.
That's the best way to get back
up.
And
and if it helps to bitch about it,
yeah,
do it.
Might as well. That's the spirit.
Because, it helps to get over it.
No, for sure. Well, honestly, that's like what I have loved about doing this podcast so far. And then I feel like I don't have to do it to everyone else. Although I still probably do, especially James. But, so it's kind of nice, honestly.
Well, I think so. Yeah. And I think Mom has probably taken the brunt of my angst, if you will, for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping she's looking forward to not having that happen anymore.
Yeah, no, totally. I'm sure she is. I mean, I think it'll also just be nice for you guys to be able to go and do stuff, like kind of whenever you want.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. It'll be scary to even want to do stuff at first, probably, but I think once we get used to the groove and what we have to do to change to make things work for us, I think it'll be nice.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, you'll get back in your routine for sure. A new routine.
Yeah, it won't be the same, which is the whole point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they call it retirement. I kind of don't like that word.
Yeah.
Because you're changing things. You're not, I don't know.
You're not like giving them all up.
No. I mean, retirement is a picture of this guy or this gal sitting on their front porch.
Absolutely.
Just getting old.
Mm-hmm.
I don't intend to let that happen.
I think that's a good way to go.
It would drive me nuts if that was what I was going to do. And not that I couldn't do it for a day or two.
You are pretty good at chilling.
But I eventually would not be able to do it anymore if that was all I was doing.
No, that makes sense. Are you still planning your trip out to Spain?
I think so.
Nice.
I think it'll be fun.
I'm excited for you.
We've talked about when we need to have deadlines set for like planning it out, but we are not actively right now trying to figure out all the logistics.
You have a little bit of time.
Yeah. I was talking to, so this is how things work. So I got on a phone call at work with two people that I worked with fairly closely for a while, but hadn't really talked to them in a while. And and we were supporting this application. They needed some stuff that restored. Okay. So I'm talking with these two people. One of them all of a sudden says, Jeff, we have a minute here, right? I'm like, yeah. She goes, I heard through the grapevine that you might have turned in your notice.
Interesting.
And I said, really? And she goes, and it didn't come from anyone at work.
What?
See, she said it was from outside of work.
Mysterious.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? So how? I don't get it. So, so I was, obviously curious.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so who and what? And she finally fessed up, and it was a former employee.
Interesting.
Found out that I had turned in my resignation.
How?
And he texted her.
How on earth?
I don't know how. I really don't. She didn't know how.
I took it out of the podcast episode. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, that's interesting.
I thought that was very interesting. Yeah. So I don't really know.
Well, I think it's weird that your boss hasn't announced it yet, but whatever.
I think it'll come, though.
Yeah.
I think it'll come now.
Yeah.
I think he was kind of hoping I'd change my mind.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's a part of it. That is interesting, though. Funky.
But yeah, so she heard it from somebody who no longer works for the same company. That's just weird, isn't it? Anyway.
Well, I'm excited for you to go on your trip. Me and Sophia, my dad and Sophia's dad are going to go and do the, I can't remember the name of the trail now.
What is it called? Camino de Santiago or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like how many weeks? A couple weeks hike.
We're thinking 2 months.
Okay, yeah, so about 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think we could do it faster, but the idea is to...
I mean, you want to be able to enjoy the places you're visiting, too.
Yeah, and not have to really push to get too far in a day. Because, I mean, the total trek is going to be almost 500 miles, I think.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so if you think about that, if you did 10 miles a day walking, that would be 5 weeks.
Okay.
But we're not going to get 10 miles a day in.
Yeah. I think it's better to take it a little bit slow anyway. That's more fun. You get to kind of hang out in some of the cities.
Yeah, and these are pretty well worn routes, if you will. So a lot of people have been doing them, and it sounds like a lot more people are starting to do them now again. So it'll be interesting to sort of, kind of be wandering down the road and pick up with some other folks who are kind of doing the same thing for a bit, and then until you go your own ways. And
I actually think that'll be really fun. And honestly, I mean, it's probably going to be kind of fun energy right now because everyone's like trying to get out of the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, that's
so right.
Right here, I'm one of those.
Yeah.
But it's a cool thing. I've always wanted to take a trek kind of like that.
Yeah.
And the other thing I've always wanted to do is go like in upper Canada where they kind of fly you in, drop you off.
Sure.
And then you have to find your way back to another point, and then they pick you up there. I've always wanted to kind of do that too, but haven't done that either. So.
Well, hey, it's never too late. You're retired now. You got all this.
So I'll have some things I can do.
hands.
That's right.
Well, I'm excited. Me and Sophia are absolutely, and the gals, the moms have to come too. We'll have to pick a city we can all meet you in and hang for a weekend or something.
Yeah, no, I think that would be fun. I don't see any reason why you couldn't do that. If you can figure it out.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah. But you guys have some plans already, don't you, for this summer or no?
Of
course,
honestly,
we're not going to go for a while yet. So.
Yeah. Aren't you thinking fall?
Early fall.
Yeah. Honestly, no. So I could use a plan.
Okay.
So that sounds nice. But, well, yay. Look at you. You're going to be retired. We're going to throw you a big party.
No parties, because there really isn't a retirement here.
Sure. Hey, quitting deserves a party as well. But I'm happy for you, and I also appreciate you for coming on the podcast.
Well, I know I'm not the most interesting person in the world, but
hey, once I get you talking.
Good thing we're not doing any drinking. No,
yeah,
I'm kidding.
Seriously. No, that is true. I remember that one time when we were in Amsterdam, and you wouldn't shut up.
I told you don't want to get me going.
It was like 3 a.m. trying to go to sleep. Mom's passed out, a hearing aid still in. Love that.
Yeah, we were hurting the next day. That was quite the night.
Oh, but anyways, have you ever done something called Rose and a Thorn? Do you know that exercise?
I don't know what that is.
So it's rose, thorn, and bud, and you say like you base it around a situation. Mm-hmm. So like rose, thorn, and bud. Rose is like the best part. Thorn is like the worst part. And then bud is like something that you can improve on for next time or like a, type of vibes.
Okay, so roses, thorns, or buds.
Yeah, you got to do all three.
You have to do all three.
Yeah, you have to do all three.
Oh.
So we're going to do rose, thorn, and a bud of being my dad.
Oh, no. Okay.
You can start with whichever one you want.
Well, so what do I have to do?
Well, I'll go first. Okay, of you being my dad. So for me, I think my rose is, I have loved running with you. It's been such a special part of our relationship. It's literally so much fun. I honestly probably wouldn't still be doing it if it weren't for you, because it's just, you always get me out there. We plan runs together. You're always telling me when it's finally time to get out of the house if I'm slacking on my training, which can happen sometimes. And you're the main reason I have done a marathon in my life, which is really cool. So I don't know. I just have always loved that. And that is easily one of the coolest parts about being your daughter. I'm trying to think. Probably a time that was tricky for us. Maybe when I sucked at math. I'm still not really a math girl, so you never quite got through to me, but that's okay.
I think you just had a block.
Yeah.
You just automatically blocked it.
It just I don't know. I like letters and words, not numbers. So I would say that was tricky for us because you understood it, and I feel like you just couldn't figure out where I couldn't understand it, the parts I was lacking. Hey, that's okay if that's our only bump.
Yeah, well, and then they changed the math too, right? So I was trying to teach you the way I was learning it, and they were teaching you a different way. Well, so I think that didn't help matters.
It also started turning into letters. Once we were adding A plus B, I was like, absolutely not. This is not how anything works.
Yeah, that's not 5 plus 4 anymore.
No. And then, I don't know, just something for the future. We'll have to find certainly a new activity for us to do if you can't keep running, because I like hanging out with you. And you get me to go outside. So who knows? Maybe we'll have to get into some obscure outdoor sport.
I'm sure we could find something.
I'm sure we could. We could also start getting into hiking. That could just be fun.
Yeah, hiking is fun. I don't mind hiking.
There's a lot of cool places around here.
There are. There's places that I'd like to go to that I haven't actually gotten to yet. That aren't that far away.
You'll be getting...
Parfreeze Glen's one of them.
Where's that?
A little north of here a ways. It's a park-ish kind of area that's supposed to be really cool.
Nice. Okay. So, well, look at that. We'll add it to the list.
There you go.
And you'll be getting your practice in Spain anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, and I'm hoping that this knee doesn't turn into something that would keep me from going there, but I don't think it would. Walking hasn't been too much of a problem.
Yeah.
It's when I start that running or like up and down stairs.
Yeah.
Or put a lot of weight that I have to.
I mean, that's totally pounding on the knees.
Yeah.
Okay, your turn.
Okay. So mine is from my perspective, though, right? Being a dad.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, when Chris and I first got married, when I first met Chris, I really had no idea, no thoughts about dating somebody, no thoughts about marrying somebody or spending the rest of my life with somebody. I was actually convinced I would be alone.
Sure.
And then I met Mom, and we were friends, and then somehow it became more than that. But then we decided it would be good to have kids. We got lucky with you, and I would say you definitely are the rose.
Yay! I was a survivor, huh?
Because we didn't ruin you.
Yeah, well, never too late.
We're very proud of how you've turned out.
Thanks. Look at this.
So that's definitely a rose, I would say. The thorn of being a dad, is probably when we have to do those things that aren't fun.
Yeah.
Like disciplining when
Yep.
when things
Your
happen.
kid sucks.
And things always happen with kids because that's just the way kids are.
No, for sure.
So I don't know if that works enough for this, but
Absolutely. I would say all in all, I probably wasn't the worst kid ever. Maybe I'm just tooting my own horn, but I had my moments.
no, but right. Everyone has their moments. I mean, I think back to when I was a kid and I'm like, boy, how did I put my mom and dad through that?
Yeah, for sure.
But for the most part, you were good, and even though you think you didn't do well at math, I think you did fine. You didn't go on to do quadratic equations and all that
Absolutely
fun stuff.
Not.
Like trigonometry or.
I whip out my calculator every time I have to do a tip.
There you go. I don't remember where I was going with that. But you turned out just fine, and you have a good head on your shoulders and a good heart.
Aw, thanks.
So
I get it from you guys. I've got good role models. What can I say? Okay, well, what about Bud? Something for the future of our relationship?
So I have always really appreciated the fact that you would run with your old man. Because I know most kids, they don't want to be around their parents when they're doing that kind of stuff. They're getting in the way, but you've always been like, yeah, I'll go with you. That's cool. So I've always appreciated that, and I would look forward to however we can make that happen in the future.
Definitely.
Whether it's just, that's similar to you, but whether it's just even walking, I don't know if I'll get you camping ever again.
I'll go camping. I like camping.
I don't know if we'll get mom camping again.
Yeah, true.
But that could be fun. But even renting a cabin now and again where we're sort of remote somewhere where we can hike, and that would be fun too.
No, definitely. That does sound nice. Well, hey, maybe we should look into trying one of those this summer.
Maybe.
You got some time on your hands?
Well, and I've always thought that it might be kind of fun to purchase a vacation property that needs fixing up and fix it up.
Yeah.
Whether we can really make that happen or not, I don't know.
I'll keep
but
looking.
That might be kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to need something to do eventually.
A little project will do you good. No, I think that's cool. Yeah. I mean, I've always loved running with you. It's just fun. It's special. And I have to say, I feel very lucky because I'm obsessed with my parents. You guys are cool, and I like hanging out with you. So
appreciate that. Thank you. And we like when you come over. Mom loves it when you get together with us. So
yeah,
that's just great.
Well, something I was talking about with Mom when we recorded too, it's just, I don't know exactly when it happened, maybe in college, but like you kind of grow up and you realize your parents are people. They're not just your parents. Yep.
Or they're no longer they're not perfect.
Yeah. Like you got your own stuff and you started complaining to me about your lives. And also I realized that I don't know, your whole world didn't circulate around me. Who knew? But,
well, there is that. Yeah.
So, but no, it's cool because it's kind of a special, now we just get to be pals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is great.
And it's been fun watching you grow up, and it's been really fun kind of hanging out with you as an adult. Loved you as a kid because I'm a kid at heart. Mm-hmm. But it's always very fun to do adult things.
Yeah, look at us.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for recording with me, Dad. I love you so much, and
love you too.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was a good enough one that you can not have to completely edit everything out.
No, I thought you were great. You're a good guest. You got lots to say. That's what 62 years will do for you, huh?
Yeah. So you get me going. How do I put it at work? I've always got something to say.
Yeah.
You might not want to hear it.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Well, thank you guys. Thank you, Dad, for joining me. I love you.
Thank you.
So much, and I'm excited about this episode, and thank you guys for listening, and I will chat with you again next week. Bye. Another cathartic convo in the books. I feel better. How about you? Thank you so much for listening. Now I just want to jump on here and say, don't forget to follow and or subscribe to the pod on your favorite streaming platform for new episodes every single week, because I know you can't get enough of me. Additionally, if you want to gain access to exclusive episodes and behind the scenes bloopers and lots of other goodies, join our Patreon and support the pod with your hard hard-earned American dollars. You can find the link in our show notes, or you can also visit us at patreon.com/pessimistic@best. And of course, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at pessimistic@best. And if you're as obsessed with me as I am with you, you can find me at Sam Georgeson on all platforms. And last but not least, I'd like to give a special shout out to my podcast editor and producer, the love of my life, James Arbai, whom I literally could not do this without. So thank you, James. I love you so much. And thank you guys for joining me again this week. I love you too, and I cannot wait to chat with you again soon.